Well, it's pretty safe to say that the summer travel season has officially arrived. Beautiful weather is here and we're ready to get back on the road, but not without a few hiccups to start. We had one very big dilemma, very expensive dilemma to start our travel season off, and that was a new transmission for Walter, unfortunately. However, with that being said, there is quite a few pros that have happened due to this. We got to stay at our cabin a little bit longer to finish up anything we need to do with the van build. We had some really good friends come through and lend us their vehicle while Walter was in the shop the last couple of weeks. And the main thing is we now know that this isn't going to happen when we're in the middle of nowhere as we head back up north this summer. And for those of you that have been pretty invested in our videos, we just want to pop on and give you guys all the update, and also a quick apology for our really sporadic posting schedule, just with all the stuff that's been going on, getting the repairs done, finishing up here at the cabin, packing everything back into the van. Things have been busy, but good busy, and we're getting prepared to get back on the road real soon. So with that all being said, I'll let you guys all in on what's been happening with the van build. So the plan right now for our storage setup is we're going to have a 3-drawer nightstand right next to the bed. And then right beside that, we're gonna have our existing bench that was on the other side of the van previously. And then the other corner behind the seat, we used to have a partition wall here, which we really liked. But what we're gonna do this time is build a full-size closet from the floor all the way to the roof. It's gonna be a home for big bulky items like jackets, shoes, and boots. All that stuff is gonna be put away and have a spot now that's not under the front seats, which is going to be great, I think. So, and as you would have guessed, we're using a lot of the old lumber that we had already built. A lot of the cabinet framing we're just going to use again because, again, lumber is super expensive. So there's no point in going out and buying more wood when we really don't need to. We're going to sand down, get rid of all that white paint because it got super scuffed up last time. Wasn't a good idea. We're going to go for that nice wood cabin-y look in here. And so far, I think it's coming along really well. Also, if I can offer any little tip, get the self-closing, spend the extra, I think like $10 on the self-closing drawer slides. Makes a significant difference compared to the ones that don't self-close, because we tried saving a little bit of money last time, and those drawers are the ones that go flying open when you take a turn a little too fast. So get the self-closing ones, they stay in a lot better. And yeah, something like that, spend that extra little bit of money. I've got to say, I was a tad worried about using the battery-powered skill saw to cut through this butcher block, but we got through no problem at all. And I just cut this small little piece because this is going to be our nightstand, and then the rest of this is going to be our kitchen counter space. Got this all sanded down super smooth, and I'm going to stain it that walnut color and let's see how it turns out. Super nice so far. It's still dark like the other one that we use, but you can see the grain in the wood a lot more. Everyone, say hello to my old friend Craig. Very vital tool now that we're getting into the cabinets. Having something to make pocket holes is pretty much an essential for making any sort of cabinetry. You just clamp it down on the side wherever you want to screw into, and then it'll go right into the adjacent piece of wood. So making any sort of trim pieces or making any sort of framing, cabinets, super essential for doing that. So use these specific Craig pocket hole screws, and then keeps everything in place. Super helpful. What do you think? Is she level? Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get these ones at the back. I'm going in. Houston, we have a door. So probably the simplest way to make shaker style cabinet doors. If you take a look, all I did was use the 1/2-inch maple plywood, cut it to make the frame, use the pocket hole screws to put it all together, and then I just put this 1/4-inch maple plywood and just covered enough of the surface area so screws could go in. So no dados, there's no need to do the little notch in the middle and have the 1/4-inch go in there. You can just glue and screw it right to the back. And I think that looks pretty good. Well, we're gonna have to eye it a little bit here, but maybe I should have waited to put the door on. For this build, I'd like to try and add just a little more character to the build. So I have these 2 pieces of driftwood. I'm pretty sure this one was a walking stick at one point. So I'm gonna sand this down really nice and smooth and probably use it as handles for cabinet doors. So I think it'll be fun, a little extra work than, you know, buying the $15 piece of hardware at Home Depot, but I think it's gonna look really good.
I saw the warning signs. You told me never mind. Told me to keep my mouth shut, turn my head, don't judge. It's not my business to mind. I saw the smoke rise, saw the ashes from the fire last night. If it's trouble you want, then it's trouble you'll find. Gonna get yourself caught like a canary in a coal mine. Where you gonna go when the ship breaks? Where you gonna go when the car crash? Where you gonna go when you're out of cash? Where you gonna go?
Not that we procrastinated, but we let time run out a little bit, and we have less than a week to get everything done. And for the next week, it's supposed to rain. So we went out, we got this cheap Walmart canopy, and then put the tarp over it because there was a bit of space between the van and the canopy, but I think we've got it all rigged up so we can get some work done, but it is wet and miserable out here. But there's work to be done. Jump.
So we mentioned in the previous videos how we were debating on going back to Ontario to work on the van or coming back to Vancouver Island, and we just missed it here so much. And the place that we stayed at is literally steps away from the ocean, and there's nothing we love more than just waking up every morning and just walking out on the beach with Diesel, and you can see like the ocean, the mountains, and sometimes you can see some wildlife. And the other day we were just out for a walk and we just happened to see some porpoises, like actually a lot of porpoises, just swimming so fast, so close, right by us, and we got to kind of take that all in. And even when we lived here for a couple years, we've never seen that before, and so it was really cool. Sometimes we'll see like the odd seal here and there, but just seeing marine life like that so close was just so cool to see that. You named them all too. You guys know how much he loves to name them.
Peter, Piper,
Pat,
Patricia, Patrick.
Pickle.
Why wouldn't you have to think of names you can't think of anything? Like there's a million P names out there. It's not even a hard letter to come up with names for, but when you're on the spot for some reason you can't think of it.
Heaven can't stop you inside you.
Cool. Love it.
We have a kitchen. It's your new home. I'd like to introduce everybody to the new Way of the Roads Adventure Mobile. Just kidding. But we have some unfortunate news about our beloved van, Walter. This morning we tried making our daily Home Depot run, and we got about around the corner, so not even 2 minutes away from where we're staying, and I lost all gears. So I went to accelerate up a tiny hill and had no torque. I wasn't going into gear. So the van was acting a little funny yesterday and kind of making the best word I can use to explain it is a bucking motion. So we would get up to speed and then I could feel it kind of like glitch. You know, I would get some speed and then back off, get some speed, back off again. But today, totally different. There was a new noise coming from underneath that I haven't heard before. And so we still tried going and pulled out of the parking lot, and yeah, no power, no gears. So it leads me to believe we have a slight transmission issue. We don't have an official diagnosis yet, and we won't have one for a few days at least because it is a long weekend.
Thankfully, when we were stalled today on the side of the road, we were just around the corner, so we were able to very slowly get back to where we're staying, which was a relief.
Yeah.
But because this is all unfolded, we basically made some arrangements, and the people we're staying with said, you know what, we can help you guys and you can stay a little bit longer. So we do have a few more weeks at the cabin, so that's gonna have a lot more time to work on the
Super
build.
helpful, yeah.
And also, you know, we'll figure out the shop thing over the next few days. So it's all gonna work out. It always does. A little bit of a hiccup, but we still made it into town in Home Depot to get what we needed today, and that's a huge win.
Yeah. Since we can drive, we figured we make a little detour to get some ice cream for a slight pick-me-up.
And yesterday, after we bought a canopy to do some work while it was raining, today was beautiful out and we wanted to work on the van, but because of all this back and forth with the vehicles and trying to figure life out, it's now raining a little bit. Now that we're ready to
getting started
get
at
started.
4 in the afternoon, but hey, at least we're getting started.
Yeah, and it's light out, so you can still put a few hours in.
Yeah.
It's fine.
At least we got ice cream. It makes you think because, yeah, if we were already on our way up north, some of these roads are like very remote. We could have been very well screwed. So the fact that we were just right around the corner, yeah, you really think about those things. Like, it was convenient. Everything worked the way it was supposed to. And don't get me wrong, I'm still super stressed about it because, like, we don't have a diagnosis. We don't know how much it's going to cost.
Yet. We will know soon.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, we do have a big trip coming up soon, and we were going to get the van serviced anyway, just to ensure that when we do go to where we're going, we're going to be okay. So, you know, it's all happening for a reason. It sucks for sure. But stay tuned. We're going to keep going with the van build and keep you posted on
everything is normal.
Everything.
Carry on and
just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, it's the way she goes. I'll give you guys a little idea of what's going on here. We were just away in Ontario for the last few days, and we had my cousin's wedding, which was amazing. But if you've ever been attached to a vehicle, you know how rough it probably is to just know it's just sitting here rotting into the ground. It might be a little dramatic, but yeah, this thing's normally driven every single day, and yeah, I hate the idea of it just sitting here. So I'm gonna start it up and just see how everything's sounding. I'm willing to bet this didn't magically fix itself while we were away. So we do have a tow truck planned for tomorrow morning, and it's gonna take it into town. Anyways, I'll stop blabbing. I got the key. Starts up fine, everything's good. But once it warms up a little bit, I can start to hear that scratching, screeching sound. I don't exactly know how to explain it. But if you listen, you can hear that sound I'm talking about, that screeching sound that was never there. Hitting the gas, but still a little bit of torque, but hardly anything. So I'm willing to bet Our transmission is not overly happy right now. Walter is upset. But in other news, the back of the van is pretty much complete. We continued with the build. All plans were just as they were before the van started acting up. So it's starting to look like our little cabin on wheels, which is what we were going for. And we're super proud of it. And we'll show more of that once Walter's feeling a little bit better. So all we can do is hope for the best. We'll say a little prayer together, get it shipped off to the mechanic, and yeah, we'll just stay optimistic.
Getting Walt all loaded up here. Kind of sad that this is actually happening. But the sooner we get it to the shop, the sooner we know what's going on, and the sooner we can get back on the road. So the build's essentially done, which is really great. So now we're just gonna do this next step. And fingers crossed it's nothing too crazy.
Sounds like I missed a voicemail on our update on the van, so call back and see what they say. Hey there, it's Kyle. I'm just returning your call.
Yeah, it's slipping in second and flaring in third and fourth. So clutch packs are slipping, so something's worn out inside the transmission.
What's the time frame we're looking at?
We do our best to get it done for next week. Best case scenario would be next Friday.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
That's the best case scenario, and then if we run into like an issue or something, then that could change. But.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot for looking at it, and
Yeah, no worries.
yeah. Okay. We'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks, Kyle.
Bye. Take care. Well, definitely, I knew it would be bad, but I honestly wasn't expecting that bad, so yeah, not too sure what to do about that. $7,200 for a new transmission. Oh, man. I don't know. What would you guys do? It's a new transmission, a rebuilt transmission with a warranty on it. So if something were to happen to this transmission, at least it's covered in the future. So yeah, tough pill to swallow. Holy. Anywho. Well, it is a tough fact to ignore, but we very well could have still been on those remote northern roads. But thankfully that wasn't the case. We were right around the corner from where we're currently staying, so not that there's a good time for your home on wheels to break down, but if there was one, this would be it. So we're gearing up, we're getting ready to head north again. We can't wait to take you guys along with us. Got some really cool stuff planned. And once again, we apologize for this crazy sporadic posting schedule, but we're getting her figured out and we'll be back again next week. So thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
I ain't one to have a plan. I ain't ever been a man. I'll fold every single hand. I don't know shit about cars. Well, I tend to drink a lot, and I tend to get real lost. I learned nothing from my pops. I don't know shit about cars.